My name is
Jenny.
David.
Lila,
Laurel,
Jen,
Lisa,
Dino,
Ari,
Kyle,
I was a
Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness.
FLDS,
in the Amish church.
the chosen people.
I was a Scientologist.
I grew up a Mooney, a member of the Unification Church.
2x2.
And I am
Shunned.
shunned.
Sean.
Shunned.
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 Stunned.
Shunned.
Hi, my name is Hannah. I was raised as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I'm shundish.
Okay, that'll work. Shundish. I'm sure we'll get into that. How'd you come to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses in the first place, Hannah?
I was born and raised, for the most part,
Okay.
like,
So both of
I,
your parents were witnesses, or what was your origin story?
I was born to parents who were witnesses. Like my, on my dad's side, his family has been in the witnesses, probably since the start, like for many years. Like my dad even says he remembers going door to door, preaching about the 1975 coming at the end of the world coming at 1975. And my mom, she was raised in the witnesses. My mom is quite a bit younger than my dad. And
Okay.
they, so they met at the Kingdom Hall, and my mom decided to marry him. And then after a few years, she decided to divorce him.
Okay.
While she was pregnant with my sister and I.
Okay. And your sister and I, yeah, that's right. So you
Yeah.
have a twin, correct?
Yeah, I have an identical twin sister.
Okay. All right. That's pretty cool. Not many people can say that. So your mom and dad, they meet as Jehovah's Witnesses. Were they raised in it as well? Were they first generation?
Yeah,
second?
my mom was raised in it. I don't know when my grandparents joined, but it was like sometime after they got married. They don't really talk about it much.
Mm.
My grandparents on my mom's side, and then my dad's second wife did a lot of research on on the witnesses in his side of the family, and they've been in there for like many years.
Okay. And so both of your parents have been in for quite some time. They meet, and they get married, and then here comes Hannah and twin, and you said then they divorced?
Yeah, my mom was pregnant with my sister and I. I don't know exactly the whole story, but one day she decided to divorce him, and this wasn't like I was led to the belief that it had something to do with infidelity, but it didn't. Like after meeting my father, he said he didn't have any infidelity. And my mother was even disfellowshipped for a short time after the divorce.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, I guess it's hard to know and doesn't super matter, I guess, what the case was, but it definitely affected you, I'm sure. I mean, so how old were you when your parents divorced, or what you said when it was when she was pregnant with you?
Yeah, well, she was pregnant with me. They were like in the middle of the divorce while when my sister and I were born.
Okay.
And like right after the divorce, my mom, I don't know if she was already in a relationship with her husband or what, but she married her second husband.
Oh, could she have been in a relationship with him and that's what it was all about, really?
I don't know. Like, I have no idea. My mom wouldn't talk about it, and my dad has told me things that that I'm not sure if they're the full truth, because I only have like his side of the story.
Right. Obviously a messy situation that sorry, I mean that's got to be confusing to be born into that right away. So then your mom remarried really quickly after you were born, or?
Yeah, she was like sort of disfellowshipped, and she remarried her second husband, who wasn't baptized or anything. He was just studying. In fact, he was his family had just like started being in the witnesses. His mom and sister were in it, and he just decided to join up a little bit after them.
Okay. So, do you think he really believed it, or would you think, because there's a lot of people who
Um,
join because they meet a nice witness lady or man and they decide they want to, get involved, so they know they have to do this thing.
yeah. From what I know, at first he didn't. Like, he sort of left it and was like into like partying and like the party crowd and stuff. And he was doing drugs and alcohol. And my mom was like about to leave him, and then he decided to like start studying and get baptized when my mom was just about to leave him.
Oh, wow. How old were you then?
I don't know. Like I have early memories of being in the back room with my mom being disfellowshipped and the leech not being there, and my grandma was there to help my mom.
Okay. And you said that you were in the back room and what?
Yeah, when I was really young, my family would be in the back room a lot with my grandma helping my mom with me, my twin sister, older brother, and my younger half brother who was like just 2 years or so younger than me.
Okay. Wow. Um, wow, that's a lot, being in the back room from a young age with your mom like that. Kind
Yeah,
of,
but she
and are
did.
these some of your first? Go ahead.
Yeah, they're some of my earliest memories, but she did get reinstated, like
Okay.
when I was too young to fully remember it, though.
Okay. Um, wow. So some of your first JW memories are being in the back room with elders and such. Wow. Um,
Like they not with others. Like I remember just sitting in the Kingdom Hall listening to the meeting with the back in the back room.
oh, just you all. Oh, because she was disfellowshipped, uh,
Yeah.
like a leper, she had to like hide in another room or something.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, and my mom mentioned that she would often be put back there, and they would say that it was because my sister and I would make noises at each other when we were babies.
Yeah, they're not exactly friendly to babies, are they?
No.
No, babies are expected to sit like little adults during those meetings
Uh-huh.
and be quiet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Who knows why they were exactly treating you guys that way? It could be a combination of things.
Yeah.
Um. So this being all that you ever knew, what was the? How did it make you see the world around you when you were a little kid growing up in this?
Um, well, I didn't really think too deeply about anything. I was living in like a I was pretty much living in survival mode because the leech would get angry at the drop of a hat.
Okay.
And I kind of didn't really think too much. I was just going with it because it was easier.
And the
But
leech is your stepdad, correct?
yeah.
Okay. So the leech was quick to anger in the house. So you were just trying to what, Barry? How were you getting by, or what did it look like in your house?
Um, well, we were pretty much walking on eggshells around him. Like if I like just walked around him funny because he had foot problems, he would get angry at like the slightest bit of pain and stuff. He would get angry if I walked around him, if I didn't do the dishes the right way, if I didn't sweep the right way. And there was like a lot of yelling, and he loved using insults like retard or stupid,
Oh,
and
okay.
calling me ugly. And when in my teens I gained weight, so he started calling me fat.
Yeah, sounds like a lovely human being.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's really, really pathetic when an adult needs to bully children uh, because they're that pathetic. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you were
Uh-huh.
treated that way. Obviously,
And
didn't deserve
uh
it.
and the worst part is he was the only father that I knew. Like my mom somehow got the custody changed so that my dad could only get like short visitations, but he couldn't like fight it in court because he didn't have money, because my half sister, because he had remarried and had my half sister. My half sister was sick with an illness, and he didn't have the money or time. He had to take care of my half sister too.
Oh wow. Now, was your biological father was he one of Jehovah's Witnesses still?
He was for a bit. Like, to this day, his wife is still a Jehovah's Witness, but he decided to leave it, and she treats him as disfellowship. Like, she won't even sit at the same table with him to eat.
And they're married?
But she still stays married to him.
They're married, but she takes that so seriously that she won't even eat with such a man when that man is her husband?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
She
dedication to the bit. Okay. She must wow. I mean, even the witnesses typically don't go that far. That's pretty far. All right. Well, so your dad at the time though was still a witness, and your mom was withholding her kids / his kids from him, even when they were all witnesses?
Well, legally she did use she did have was able to do it legally. She went to court because he was living in another state. He had moved to Ohio because he couldn't find a job in Michigan. And so he was living in Ohio, the next state over, and and my mom used that as an excuse to get full custody.
Okay. Wow. And then how often did you ever see your dad?
I got a few phone calls after that, but I didn't really have any memories of him.
So your family really at that point, I don't know, was that hard for you as a little kid? Did you, I mean, to know you have a dad out there you don't see?
I always knew who he was. I was always told about my real dad, but I wasn't told any like actual stories. I just knew that the leech was my stepdad, and but he was the only dad I knew.
Okay.
Because my mom did this when I was about 3. My brother did have memories of our dad, but he didn't really talk about it either.
So I guess what was childhood like then, as a witness? So obviously in the house, it doesn't sound like it's the safest, happiest home. We can double back to that, but what was it like for you at the Kingdom Hall? Do you remember being a young witness? Do you remember things like the Bible storybook or going out in service and all those things? Were you all regular with that?
Yeah, we were pretty regular with it. We would go to the twice weekly meetings, and I think there was a time when I was like really little where they had these party days where we brought like cakes or something, but I can't remember too much.
Okay.
But we went to all the meetings that I remember. I remember we went to all the meetings growing up. Like my mom and the leech,
about it? What do you remember? Like, was there a lot of expectations on you kids at those meetings to maybe raise your hands and comment and such, or
yeah, we would have to like raise our hands and try to comment at least once. And I remember getting in trouble at some point. I got pen all over my coat because I was like underlining or something.
And so you got in trouble for getting ink on your coat. Was the response very harsh?
I don't quite remember. I just remember that my memories are a bit fractured because I went through a lot growing up.
Okay. So trauma?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah,
And
trauma has a way of making the memories rather fuzzy. And,
mhm.
beyond the trauma, there's also not a lot going on in that world. It's so boring.
Uh-huh.
There's
Yeah.
not a lot to really remember. It's just the same shade of gray every day, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, did you enjoy going out and was there any part of the meetings or service or anything that you enjoyed?
I really liked it going out in service because oftentimes we'd be able to like go to a cafe or something and get a sweet treat.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
a break.
usually like I remember in my teens, my sister wanted to get more into the religion, and she asked everyone what their favorite part of the meeting was, and a lot of us said the last song because it was the end.
I'm sure that went over well.
Mm,
um, yeah, I think that was a lot of people's favorite part of the meeting. Getting it over with. Did you participate? Did you give talks? Did you go out and service a lot?
yeah,
Were you into it?
yeah. I would go. Yeah, my mom would take us kids out in service. Especially after she got reinstated, we would go out in the service. Go to all the meetings. Go to all the conventions, and uh, when I was about 8 or so, I joined the school and started doing those little skits that women get to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How'd you feel about that?
Uh, I remember that I was excited at first, but then on the day that I would do it, I would get nervous when I was standing in front of the Kingdom Hall.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, were you normally kind of a shy kid? Were you pushing yourself pretty hard to do that? Or were you kind of excited to be able to perform a little bit?
Uh, I was pretty shy, like in the moment, but I was excited to perform a little bit.
Okay.
Like when I'd get the assignment, I'd be excited to like go up there, and then finally when I did it, I'd get nervous and
Yeah. You're a normal human being.
uh,
Everybody gets nervous up there. Even those that like it a little bit get nervous up there. Um,
uh,
so, and you all were very regular and everything. Were you all at home? Were you all the family that did a lot of, did you do a lot of personal study or family study? Were there expectations at home?
not really. Like they would flip flop between being this good super witness family, and then they would just like give up. So we didn't really do a lot of studying, but when we did, it usually devolved into the leech yelling at us about how we're not good enough.
I mean, if I had a nickel for every time I've talked to an ex-witness about their family study, they talked about how it devolved into someone getting yelled at for, especially parents yelling at the kids. I mean, it just feels like it was in almost every family. Obviously, I'm sure there were some that were exceptions to that rule, but my goodness, the family studies were just miserable, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a reason to thump you with the Bible, so to speak. Um, so back at home, uh, obviously, it doesn't sound like it was a super happy place. Would that be accurate?
Yeah. I
Okay.
was pretty miserable, and we were also the family that was seen as not spiritual enough. Like everyone in the congregation could tell we weren't great, so we were oftentimes soft shunned. Like they would talk to us when we'd go to the meetings and stuff, maybe even come out if we invited them places, but we were rarely invited uh, to like outings and stuff.
That hurt when you were a kid?
Sort of. Like I could see that when I was growing up, other kids at the Kingdom Hall didn't really like me. Like oftentimes I would only really have friends at school,
Mm,
and I could only associate with them at school. So I felt pretty lonely.
yeah, that makes sense. So was school then kind of a safe place for you in any way, or a little bit of a break
Um,
from all the other garbage?
a little bit. Like I've always been like a weird kid, so the kids at school, I was also bullied at school as well as
Okay,
at home.
sounds right.
So, but I had a few good teachers, and uh, and it did help to get like a little bit of a break. And I was kind of sad when I was about 15. The leech and my mom decided not to enroll me into high school.
Oh, so they're going to homeschool you?
They were, but they didn't really do anything. They wanted me
Okay.
to like read the Awake magazines because apparently that uh, was like a college education or something.
Oh my gosh, yes. They would say that if
And the
you read
leech,
the Awake magazines, it was like getting a university education, which is the dumbest thing in the
uh,
world to say.
and my mom was like too busy. She had to work a lot to provide for the family of six, and the leech couldn't hold down a job, so he
Of
was at
course.
home all the time, but didn't have the patience or really want to teach anything.
Interesting. I think I'm seeing more and more why you call him the leech. So he wasn't even working, huh?
Uh,
Okay.
for the most part, he was like a babysitter.
Doesn't sound
Like
like
my
a very
mom
good
would
one.
go to work. No, he wasn't a good one.
I think you would fire that babysitter if you hired that babysitter for your kids, but when he's married to you, I guess you're stuck with them. So uh
Yeah.
so so you were homeschooled, but like a lot of kids, you didn't actually get an education, right?
No. When I moved to from Arizona to Michigan, my grandparents' neighbors helped me and my sister get GEDs.
That's very nice. Good for that person
Hmm.
for helping. Were they witnesses or uh
No, my grandparents had left their religion when I was about 5. They
oh,
had a falling out. I don't know exactly what it was about. So my uncle was disfellowshipped, and I think I have an aunt who was disfellowshipped as well. And my grandparents refused to stop associating with them. They were told to stop associating with them, and they didn't want to.
good for
They
your
didn't even stop
grandparents.
associating with my mother. Uh-huh.
So your grandparents refused to
And
shun.
yeah, a- and like when I was about 5, they just decided to stop considering themselves witnesses. But my grandma would sometimes go with us to the meeting to help my mom.
Okay. All right. Um, so they had left it, but she was still being helpful where she could. And then later, it sounds like, so did how did this neighbor know that you and your sister didn't graduate?
My my grandparents are pretty close with their neighbors. Like it's like a really nice tight knit community that they live in by a lake here in Michigan.
And then that person just volunteered to help you and your sister get your
Yeah.
GED.
Hmm.
That's very nice. How did it feel to get your GED?
It felt great. I actually have a picture of the graduation ceremony they did for the people who got GEDs, and they
Oh,
gave us like a whole
awesome.
cap and gown, and they took pictures and stuff.
That's cool. Did you share that with your mom or the leech, and how did they respond?
Uh, I shared it with my mom. I some Shortly after I moved up here to Michigan, I blocked the leech and cut him out of my life, but I still talk to my mom.
Okay. Was your mom excited for you, or how'd she respond?
Yeah, she was happy for me.
Okay, good for you. I know. Well, my wife and I got married. She too was homeschooled as a Jehovah's Witness, which meant her mom just used her to talk to all day or to take to Walmart and
Uh-huh.
shop, and they didn't and tried to basically prevent her from doing her schoolwork. And
Uh-huh.
I I helped my wife get her GED, and I remember, she was proud that she got it, and she told her parents who were witnesses, and they didn't care. So
Uh-huh.
so you got your GED. Happy to hear that. Congratulations again. I know that that's hard, especially when you've
Mm-hmm.
been deprived of certain educational opportunities. Um,
Uh-huh.
so going back to school when you were in there, I know, I'm sorry you were bullied there. I mean, I think a lot of times kids that get bullied at school, the original bullying is occurring at home, and then they go to school, they
Uh-huh.
have no self-esteem. Other kids can sense that and pounce on it, and it's just a really sad thing. But did you have any friends at school? I thought you kind of alluded to that a
Uh,
little bit. Did you have any like little
yeah,
school friends?
I'd have a school of friends that I would talk to, uh, that I would like hang out with at school, and like I remember one year my school was going to do this thing where they take the students in my grade to Catalina Island.
Okay.
Uh, but my parents refused to sign the permission slip, so I had to stay there at the school.
Of
But
course.
they did do something for the class for that year, for the class that I was in for that year, that had to, the ones in the class that had to stay. They had these squids shipped because one of the things that they do on that island is they have the students dissect squids.
Okay.
So they had these squids shipped to the school, and I got to dissect a squid.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, and I even like wrote my name with the squid's spine, as dark as it sounds, in its own ink.
Well, as kids, I'm sure we all would have done something weird with the squid. That's what it is to be a kid. Uh,
Uh,
so, did you have any friends at the Kingdom Hall?
um, most of the time, no. Like, my family moved around a lot, so we would go to a Kingdom Hall. We'd get love bombed for a bit, and then they would see that they don't like us, so we would get soft shunned after a little while. But a lot of time, but depending on the Kingdom Hall I went to, I would maybe sometimes have like a friend there that would hang out with the family that we'd be able to hang out with, but a lot of times the other kids just thought I was weird, so they didn't really want to hang out with me and my sister. But they would invite my brothers places.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Did you all move around so much for like chasing work, or was it because
Um,
you'd get soft
I'm
shunned and
not
then
sure.
bounced?
It probably had something to do with my mom's work. My mom was a nurse. She went to nursing school when I was like really little, and she became a nurse. And she would sometimes she would like lose her job or whatever, and we would have to find another job, and she would have to like look around.
So your mom, it sounds like, was hustling and trying to make things work to some degree.
Yeah, she was. She was trying her best to like provide for a family of six, and when I was like old enough to like remember things, she did create some stability, at least financially, but the emotional instability wasn't great for the family.
Yeah, of course. Now,
Emotional instability from the leech.
yeah, I was gonna say, obviously, the leech was the cause of a lot of that.
Mm.
Was your relationship with your mom growing up? Did you two get along pretty well, or was she just never around because she was
Um,
working? Or
she did work a lot, so we weren't really all that close, but like we would go out shopping for dresses for the memorial and stuff, and she kind of felt emotionally distant, and I don't know if that had something to do with the fact that me, my twin sister, and older brother, we all look like our father, who she divorced.
Okay. Well,
And then my half brother, the leech's son, came out looking like her, and he was also given like more better treatment than me, my twin sister, and older brother.
okay. So it doesn't sound like your influence from your mom or the leech, your stepdad, were super great and accepting and loving. I'm sorry that you were treated different based on who your father was and such.
Yeah.
That's not good or okay.
Like, I know that my mom did try her best. Like, she would do things like buy us gifts and stuff. And my grandma said that the leech would get mad at her for buying me, my sister, and older brother gifts. But she did try to buy us stuff that we needed and wanted when she could.
I'm glad she did that. Obviously, there's much more to being a good parent
Yeah.
than making sure your kids are fed and clothed and such. But I'm glad that that you had that. So let me ask, what was like? I don't know. Did you have a favorite moment when you look back at your life growing up with them? Was there a place you went on family vacation or a game night or something that you did enjoy?
We did go to Las Vegas for a family vacation. We weren't really allowed to talk about it too much, but we went to Las Vegas and we went to this circus place. It was like a casino that had rides and stuff. And we had like a fun little stay in a hotel for like a family vacation.
Well, that's nice. I mean, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? So they
Yeah.
didn't want you to talk about it at the Kingdom Hall. But I mean, you all were they gambling or were you all just riding
No,
around?
we were riding rides, and I made one of those little penny things where you can put a penny in the machine, and it molds the penny into a souvenir.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, all the little kitschy fun things that you get to do at a circus. That's I'm glad that you got to go at least that time and just it sounds like have some fun.
Yeah.
Kids are supposed to have fun. So
Uh-huh.
So how did things progress for you as you went into your teenage years? And feel free to speak up if there's something if there was a moment that really mattered that we're glossing over. Feel free to speak up.
Well, in my teenage years, I started getting really into science fiction, like Star Trek, Doctor Who, and shows like that had some themes that made me really think about the religion. Like, I didn't leave until I was about 21, 22, but I did start thinking when I was a teenager. One episode of Star Trek really stood out to me. It was the episode For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky. In that episode, the Enterprise comes across this asteroid. They go onto the asteroid to like sort of try to destroy it or something because it's going to be heading towards a habited planet.
Okay.
But they get to the asteroid and they find this people called and they call the asteroid they live on the world of Yonata. And they don't know that they live on a spaceship. They think that where they live is like a actual world. And they're punished for stating that they live on a spaceship or doing something that proves that they live on a spaceship. And one part of the episode that has the name of the episode came from there was an old man who said that when he was young he climbed the mountain and he touched like the edge of the ship and he said, "For the world is hollow and I have touched the sky." and then he was like punished with this pain implant that they have.
Okay, wow. I
Uh-huh.
that's first of all, I've got to ask, which Star Trek was that?
Oh yeah, sorry, it was the original series of Star Trek with Kirk and Spock.
Oh wow, it's the OGs. All right.
Uh-huh.
Well, I okay. I now need to go try to find this episode. That sounds interesting. I can totally. I mean, it's kind of oh, what's that movie with Jim Carrey in it? The Truman
It's
Show.
Truman Show, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like he found the wall and he's gonna leave.
Uh-huh. My
So
brother
okay.
actually had that on VHS. My brother had like an extensive VHS collection. Uh, but like before I moved out, the leech said that he had to get rid of it because like the family had this huge bookshelf that was full of VHS tapes. And the leech got self-conscious about it because he was thinking that the witnesses would think that we're movie people that are always watching movies and stuff. So my brother got rid of most of the VHS tapes.
Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses are
I did
always
try to
concerned
keep,
about appearances.
yeah,
Yes.
I did try to keep some of the Star Trek VHS tapes that he had,
Hmm.
but I ended up having to leave all of my Star Trek memorabilia and stuff at the house when I moved. When I moved with my grandparents.
No, I'm sorry you lost that, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the leech has sold my Star Trek stuff anyways.
probably.
Yeah.
So that you watched that episode of Star Trek, and obviously I can make inferences myself, but let's hear it from your voice. So you watched that
Uh-huh.
episode, and what did that make you think of?
Well, I really, what really stood out to me was that the people of Yonata, they believed that they were going to a new world where they would have like no sickness or death and stuff. And that sort of stood out to me because I was like, I'm a religion that believes that too.
And they were being lied to and hit with things that
Uh-huh.
would cause them pain if they started to see through the ruse, right?
Yeah, mostly the people were controlled by this ship's computer that had somehow turned itself into a god.
Interesting. Well, I think that I love that media and culture, we're all affected by different things. And I love that media and culture. I recently watched the Wicked movies. Someone had recommended them as far as like from an XJW standpoint. And my wife has always
Uh-huh.
wanted to see them because she liked The Wizard of Oz. And the Wicked movies are
Uh-huh.
very, if you look at them through an XJW lens, oh my goodness. It's pretty clear who the apostate is and the person who's being unfairly treated and maligned because they see through it all and they're the only ones who have real power. It's really fascinating. I love that media can capture things that then people like us can use to see our actual
Yeah.
lives through. It's
Yeah,
fun.
like a lot of XJWs, they call the Watchtower the Borg,
Yeah, the Borg.
as reference to the Borg from Star Trek.
Yeah, what was that? Which Star Trek was? Oh, was that the Next Generation? I
It's
think.
Yeah, it's in next. The Borg are actually in a lot of Star Trek shows. Next Generation, even until the modern shows. Uh,
Oh,
the last I've seen all the Star Trek shows, so
okay.
the Star Trek Picard actually changed up the Borg too.
Okay. I think got left behind at a point after Voyager or something. But yeah, the resistance is futile. You will be assimilated, right? That's what the Borg states, and
Yeah.
that's Jehovah's
Uh-huh.
Witnesses. They want to assimilate you into one of them. Uh,
Uh-huh.
so you started. It sounds like media was so media is kind of what woke you up, just like Star Trek and other things.
Well, that and when I was 22, I was working third shift at the factory, and I was just like really tired all the time. And my sister and I had gotten like a house. My grandma helped us get a house that we could rent together instead of staying with her and my grandpa. And we did a housewarming party with the witnesses. Like I would go to meetings and stuff, but I really wasn't feeling it. Like I would hide in the bathroom a lot, even when the meetings were over Zoom.
Okay.
And during the housewarming party, I was like really tired from the third shift job, and I was like trying to look happy that I'm getting these gifts because they're all really nice gifts and these are nice people, but I was just thinking to myself, I don't really belong here. So I decided to stop going to meetings, and I wanted to like start dating normal people.
Okay. Well, how did you realize, or when you're thinking to yourself, I don't belong here, what's the reasoning behind that?
I think it was just like the first time that I had space to actually think about what I was feeling. Like living with the leech, I was constantly yelled at for every little thing, and that made it difficult for me to actually think about stuff. And I just wasn't having a good time. I just felt like I was just thinking to myself, I don't even like these people. And I feel bad for saying that, but I just didn't really like them.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, it's nice of them to get you some gifts or whatever, but that doesn't mean that
Yeah, for
ultimately
housewarming.
it's a housewarming party. That's what people do there.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be your besties or good for you. I
Yeah.
know that the leech called you a lot of names, but you're no dummy. You saw through this stuff. You put two and two together here
Yeah.
and saw that it was 4 and not 5. Reference to
Yeah.
1984.
So anyways, I decided to stop going to meetings, and I started dating. I dated a guy at work, didn't work out. I tried a dating app, that didn't work out. And then I decided to start dating my now fiance.
Congratulations. How
Yeah.
long ago did you meet him?
It's been about 3 years or so.
And
Like
how long have you
we
been
met
engaged?
at work. We've been engaged for about a year, close to a year.
Nice. Congratulations. And you said you met at work. Did you all work the same shift or?
Yeah, we worked the same shift for a while. I don't work third shift now, and I had started working second shift where he was working, and we were sort of talking as friends because I was like dating the guy I met on a dating app, but that relationship ended because like he ghosted me, so I decided to go on a date with him.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people get ghosted on dating apps and such.
Yeah.
What dating is today. I think people can't have conversations, so they just bounce.
Uh-huh.
So how did you? So I think we kind of skipped over one part, and that so you started waking up in your teenage years as you were seeing some of this stuff through
Uh-huh.
media, and you kind of realized that maybe not everything you were around was as grounded in truth as you thought.
Yeah. I was going with it though because I didn't want to get like punished by the leech
Of
because
course.
if I didn't really go with the meetings and stuff, he would punish us, and like
Okay.
he would get angry, especially when the meetings were over Zoom. And I was 20 years old, and the leech and my mom had bought these chairs and set it up sort of like a theater,
Oh gosh.
and
Okay.
we and the chairs were really comfy chairs, and my sister and I like to sit crisscross applesauce, and we would get in trouble for sitting with our feet on the chairs. And during the meeting, we would the first chairs that they bought for my sister and I sort of rocked. So my sister and I just felt the need to like rock back and forth on the chairs.
You're probably stimming because it's so boring.
Yeah, we were. And
I'm
so
just
they
using
switched.
that
They
term.
changed out our chairs
Okay.
because the leech made it sure that we had assigned seats. We could only sit in the chairs that we were assigned to. I was even yelled at a couple times for sitting. We even had assigned seats at the table, and I was yelled at a couple times for sitting in the wrong seat at the table when no one else was sitting at the table.
Talk about the world's worst theater. I don't care how comfy
Uh-huh.
the chairs are. If you've got Zoom for Jehovah's Witnesses meetings on in your theater, oh man, I give that. This movie gets 1 star. You know what a terrible way to entertain yourself. Um, so
Yeah.
obviously you were doing what you had to do to get by, but if I remember correctly, you never got baptized, right?
No, my twin sister got baptized when we were about like 16 or so, but she
Okay.
didn't ask my mom and the leech first, and they got mad at her for not talking to them about it first. And that kind of turned me, and then after that, they would hold it over her head, like, you're baptized, you should know better than to do this. And that kind of turned me away from ever wanting to get baptized.
Yeah, but baptism is a protection, Hannah. It's a protection for you.
Uh,
That's what they say, right?
yeah,
So your
but
your
my
sister
twin sister
actually
and older
did it
brother
right,
both.
though. Your sister
Yeah,
did
she
it
did.
right. She actually believed so much, I guess, or what? I don't know where she was, but
Uh-huh.
anyway, she just went and did this thing, and instead of being proud of her, they were mad at her about it, and then they held. Well, I mean,
Yeah, they believed that we weren't ready for it because we like weren't all completely following all their rules and stuff. One thing that we oftentimes got in trouble for was on our phones we had like Reddit and we had a Star Trek app that had a chat section and we were talking to worldly people.
okay,
They
so
didn't.
so you had like your own little mini, I don't know, I don't want to call it a rebellion. You had, to them it was a rebellion, to you it was just being yourself and doing what you actually wanted to do. And because of that, they didn't feel like you were ready for baptism.
Yeah, and like one thing
Because
that
you
stood
weren't
out
the
to me that
perfect
I
witnesses
remember.
that they were.
Uh, One thing that I remember vividly, when the meetings were over Zoom, I don't know if it was a meeting or if the family was just like sitting down to watch something, to watch like a what's it called, something to do like a broadcast.
Mhm.
But we were gonna do like a witness thing, and my sister and I were like sitting crisscross applesauce with our feet on the couch, and the leech didn't like that, so he said something like, I watched a documentary about kids who went to prison, and they all started by breaking small rules that their parents set. And that really upset us at the time because we felt like he was calling us criminals.
Well, he was saying that's where you're headed. Yes. Yes.
And my mom came
Everybody
in the room.
knows.
She was in the room. My mom
Uh-huh.
came in the room and asked why we were crying, and the leech said, "Oh, I just told them not to put their feet on the couch."
Well, everybody knows that crisscross applesauce is the gateway drug to prison. I mean, it's so stupid. So all right. So you managed to not get baptized. So I was gonna at first I was thinking, well, maybe you managed to not get baptized, and there was probably like a tremendous amount of pressure on you to get baptized. But now I'm like, well,
uh,
was there pressure on you to get baptized? Because
no,
you
there
just
wasn't really.
okay.
I don't think the leech would have ever thought we were ready. Like I
Wow.
didn't really get a lot of pressure, and I think they were afraid of me getting disfellowshipped eventually.
Okay.
Like
So
my
then it
mom
was
at
better
least
for you
was
just
afraid of
not
it.
to. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. So your parents, particularly the leech, had such high expectations that you couldn't even get baptized because you couldn't meet their expectations, which were higher than even what it would take to get baptized.
Yeah.
They literally knew the leech put himself in the position of Jehovah God and had his own
Uh-huh.
rules that superseded the organization's. That's ballsy. Wow.
Uh, yeah,
All
and he
right.
wasn't even an elder. Like he never really qualified for any real privileges. Like every once in a while he would hold the mic, and my half brother would, but a lot of times he wouldn't get privileges because they thought that he wasn't good enough.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure
Wow.
they also judged him because of him not working and my mom working. And I
Sure.
think he also felt emasculated because of not being able to hold down a job and having to live off his wife.
Well, people that are insecure and that often feel deep down like they aren't good enough often spend their life projecting those feelings onto other people, sadly, including their own kids, trying to make you feel like
Uh-huh.
you're not good enough so that they can at least feel better than you. They're a child for a moment, and that's really pathetic, but it's how humans work,
Mm-hmm.
sadly. Um, so you then, how do you get then from at that point Arizona, right, to Michigan
Yeah.
with your grandparents? Like, how do you
My
leave
my
this
grandparents
thing?
when my grandparents would visit with my aunt and cousins sometimes, and in about 2021 I was like getting sick of the leech. I had several suicide attempts, and I just
Mm.
couldn't take it anymore, so I begged my grandparents to take me to Michigan with them. And my mom and the leech decided to pressure my sister into leaving with me.
Why?
I don't know, like they
Why would they want
really did
her to
not like my
go?
sister and I especially. Probably because they didn't like my sister and I especially. Like, the leech especially hated me and my twin sister. We were oftentimes treated like second-class citizens. Like, we would have, we were constantly yelled at because we didn't clean the whole house. Uh, we didn't keep our room clean. And we were constantly yelled at for not following their rules and stuff. And the leech just especially hated my sister and I. And my sister was treated a little worse than me. They didn't really pay attention to her. Like, we have our own personalities, and my sister really liked Spider-Man,
Hmm.
and I really liked Star Trek, and they would often get both of us Star Trek stuff.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so they didn't see you two as individuals. You're kind of like a package deal to them.
Yeah.
Wow. And um I mean, you don't have to talk about anything you don't want to talk about, but you threw it out there. So
Uh-huh.
just um how did things get to a point where you felt so low that you didn't want to be here anymore? And
Um,
did they ever get you any help or counseling or anything, or did they just get
um,
for attempting?
it would all just like built up. Sorry, it's just a lot.
Sure. And you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Uh-huh. Sorry, I just need a moment.
No, it's okay. Take all the time you need.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I had a mental breakdown.
Sure.
I was working at a fast food restaurant, and the manager there wasn't nice to me either.
Mm. It reminded you of
And,
home.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the leech would use money as a punishment as well. Like whenever he felt I didn't do the chores good enough, he would raise my rent that I was paying. And oftentimes I would have to like give him most of my paychecks.
Oh, really? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Financial control too. All right.
Uh-huh.
Wow. And so things just got bad at work and
Mm-hmm.
didn't seem like things were working out for you here.
Yeah.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry things got to that point. I think that it's I mean
Yeah,
so many
and my
people.
mom and the leech, they only know about one attempt I made. I bought a rope and I taught myself how to tie a noose. uh, and I was gonna like do it, and then the leech came out and yelled at me, and I thought to myself, you know what? I think I want to live out of spite.
I gotta live just
I
to
want to
make
prove
people
that I'm not
mad.
going to be a criminal.
Um, well, I'm glad that you chose spite or whatever it was and that you're still here today.
Uh-huh.
It's just, I mean, be nice. I'm not telling you this, but I mean, isn't this just another reason in life? Be nice to people because you never know what's going on in their daily lives, and you don't know that you might not be the person to push them over the edge. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people have a lot of hard things going on in their lives, and we all need leeway in life. And I mean, look, at the end of the day, um, none of us gets out of here alive. We're on a rock spinning through time and space. None of this is really that
Uh-huh.
damn serious. And we take things so seriously and hurt each other and do all of these stupid things instead of just trying to enjoy the time that we have. And it's really a damn shame. And I'm sorry that, you know, that your manager had their own miserable life that they were taking out on you, probably like
Mm-hmm.
the leech. If you're feeling stuck in your life after cult involvement and can't find the life you want, leaving a cult is a new beginning on a path to healing, not some magical end itself that is healing. Relief from the immediate pain feels good at first, but that's not necessarily true happiness. The feelings of social awkwardness and isolation, lack of self worth, perfectionism, patterns of being attracted to emotionally unavailable people, not even knowing who you are yourself. All of these things and more are lingering effects of that environment. Being in a cult isn't just following a doctrine, but it's following a culture, a way of life, a way of being that doesn't just go away because you stopped attending meetings. If you want to shortcut the path to healing instead of trying to figure it out on your own, maybe even work with me professionally in my cult recovery coaching practice, you can find opportunities to do that and also for other cool resources at my website, exjwhelp.com. That's exjwhelp.com.
Yeah.
And
It also had something to do with the issues I had. Like, I didn't like people seeing me cry, so I would hide in the bathroom to cry. And I was crying a lot then. And
um,
I'm pretty sure the manager probably thought I was on drugs.
can I ask? Well, I'll ask or assert. I don't know, but a lot of times people don't want to see other people see them cry because it's never been safe. Like if you grow up in a safe
Yeah.
home where it's okay to cry, then it's not such a
Uh,
big deal. But you
no,
can tell a
it
lot
wasn't
about a
safe to cry.
person. Yeah.
Oftentimes when I would cry, the leech would say I was being manipulative.
Oh my God, I hate that. Yes, that's what they
Yeah.
say. That's what assholes say. Um, Like you've got nothing better to do than cry to manipulate. I mean, it wasn't working, was it? So you clearly weren't
No.
doing it to manipulate. Um, that's you can tell a lot about a person by how they react when you cry in their presence. Can they make space for you, or do they get mad at you for having feelings? And I think we can tell a lot about the leech here. Um, I'm sorry that that was the situation, and my guess is you probably had a lot of tears that had been stored up for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, well, I'm glad that you're here. I'm just sorry that you didn't have that the people who were entrusted with your care weren't able to give you the love and care that probably a bunch of strangers, myself included, who
Yeah.
will listen to this will feel for you. And I'm glad that you've got your
Yeah.
grandparents and
Mhm.
apparently your grandparents' neighbor and who cared enough to help you and your fiance. Like, you deserve love too, just like anybody else.
Mhm.
Um, what has happened? So your sister came to Michigan with you. Is she a
Yeah. Yeah, she is still a witness.
okay?
She doesn't want to leave it, and I don't know if she ever will. Like, she
Sure.
is like uh really into it, and she doesn't want to change anything.
Okay. Does it affect your relationship? Or are you two still cool?
Um, we're still cool. Like, she'll talk to me and stuff, and we send memes back and forth.
Good.
But since I moved in with my fiance, it's been a little hard to get go out and hang out with her, especially since I'm still learning how to drive. Uh,
Ah,
I have a learner's permit, only got someone else in the car.
okay. And you're sitting here in a car right now in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys, can maintain that relationship.
Mhm.
It should be okay
Yeah.
to agree to
And
disagree. We don't all have to believe the
and
same.
also a little while after I moved, my sister and I moved up here. My brother decided to move up here too.
Okay.
My older brother.
Okay. Is he a witness as well?
He I would call him Pimo. Like, he understands why I left, and he would shun me or anything, but
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure he wants to leave the religion. He wants to stay in to watch over our sister.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to know where he lies mentally, but at least good for him for being just a good, it sounds like, for, doing the basics and just continuing to be a good human being to his
Uh,
sister, even though she doesn't necessarily believe this thing.
uh,
Again, we should be able to be good humans, even if we don't agree. Um,
yeah.
so, today, so obviously you weren't baptized, and Jehovah's Witnesses don't have to shun you. You weren't, there's
Mhm.
no rule necessarily regarding that. But
Uh-huh.
how are you treated today? Do you say you're shunned-ish when
Um.
you introduced yourself? What
Yeah.
does that?
Well, my father's wife and my half sister, I had sort of a relationship with them. We met when I was like 16. I didn't know my father, but I met them when we were 16. They came to Arizona. My father's wife had a sister in Arizona, and she would go there to visit her sister. And she went two times. She said she was going to visit her sister before the Great Tribulation.
Okay, so that they were going to visit before the Great Tribulation. All right, which has still not happened.
Yeah. And so I was like texting back and forth with my father's wife and my half sister, and but then after I left, they first they visited in person at my grandparents' house, and my father's wife started chanting at me to go back to meetings, and I felt really uncomfortable. And I was just like, no, it's just not for me.
Okay.
And then she texted me about how I should be going back to meetings and stuff, and I was like, no. And I finally just told her and she asked me about if I was still living with my sister, and I said, no, I'm living with my he was at the time just my boyfriend, but I said, no, I'm living with my boyfriend now. I'm happy. I'm not going to go back. And then her response was, that's your choice. I can't talk to you.
No, it's your choice to live with your boyfriend. It's her choice to not talk to you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I love how they always try to blame the victim.
That kind of angered me. So after I got that text, I looked up exjw on YouTube and Reddit. And found like the Shun podcast, XJW Caleb, Altworldly.
Mm-hmm. So you started finding out that you weren't alone, huh?
Yeah, and I found a lot of people who had similar stories to me, with having one parent who is sort of like enabling or is oftentimes rarely there, and the other parent who is abusive.
Mm-hmm. Wow, good for you. So you got to see these things, and you saw that reflected in your own family, and did that help you to process what you had been through? Some?
Yeah, and also when I stopped going to meetings, I was also talking to a therapist online.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really go into a lot of detail because I didn't want to make Jehovah's Witnesses look bad, but I really wish I had gone into more detail with that therapist. But one day my mom and the leech called me up to ask me if I was gay, if the reason I was leaving is because I was gay.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I laugh about it now, but it really upset me at the time. I was actually crying to the therapist about it.
Well, it's messed up. It's I mean,
I'm pretty sure the leech was just looking for an excuse to actually shun me, because the leech pretty much wanted any excuse to get me out.
Well, and in the end, you ended up having to block him, right?
Yeah.
So,
Like, he didn't really reach out to me after I moved out much anyways, but I just blocked him because I just didn't want to call or text him anymore. I didn't want to have to deal with him.
yeah, that's called a boundary. And when someone is toxic to you and they're actively hurting you, you don't have to. That's not the same as shunning, and you don't have to
I
have a
even
person in your life who
messaged
treats
my
you bad.
mom. I even messaged my mom and told her not to refer to the leech as my dad anymore, because he was the only father I knew. I called him dad, but he wasn't my dad.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he was taking that role very and doing very well by it. So he had a chance to be a good dad, and he didn't take that chance. So that's his loss, and I'm sorry that it affected you guys. So what do you love about your new life since you've left? What's good in your world?
Well, I have a fiance. I've reconnected with my real dad and my aunt. My aunt was actually an XJW. She was considered an apostate, like the people who would actually do protests and stuff. And that's why my mom. That's why I never really talked to her. But I've reconnected with my aunt, and I hope to eventually reconnect with my cousins too. But I have yet to get in contact with them.
No. Well, who knows? Maybe they'll find this at some point and or come across it and see that they got a cool cousin they can reach out to. And maybe you'll reach out to them. It is hard to do that.
I also realized that I was really lucky to have my grandparents who had left, and I had my aunt, uncle, like most of my mom's family has left the religion years ago,
Nice.
and
And
I
you are
have
fortunate.
that
Yeah.
support system.
Yeah. So, do you have any dreams for the future or anything that you hope for the rest of your life as you move forward? You get to be you now.
Uh,
Figure out who that is.
yeah, my fiance wants to get a boat and go back to like sailing and living on a sailboat, and that sounds like a really good dream, and I want to be there with him.
Well, that sounds cool.
And I'm really enjoying learning about like stuff that has magic in it, like Harry Potter. Like I know that's a great. The author of the Harry Potter is like not a great person, but I enjoyed the books and certain video games with it.
I don't know if you had one thing that you wanted to say to people who watch this. What would you say? Maybe talk to the XJW out there who's been through similar things to you.
Um, I would say try to be kind to people and to yourself. Kindness is really a good virtue.
Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? I mean, if you act in kindness, how can you really go wrong? As long as you're also being kind to yourself and not lighting yourself on fire to keep somebody else warm. As long as you're being kind to others and yourself in the process, yeah, I mean, it creates a pretty cool life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I really thank you, Hannah, for telling your story. You know, it was really nice of you to come on here and to share. I'm sorry you've been through such tough times and that things maybe weren't what you had hoped or deserved as a child. But you know, here you are today. Now you're making the most out of the life that you have, and we're all glad you're here. And you get to maybe be a stepmom to your own stepkids, and you can change the patterns and right the wrongs and do better than what was done to you. If you'd like some extra content and you'd like to learn more about our guests today, maybe even have an opportunity to connect further with them, you can do so by joining the back room tier at patreon.com/shunned. If you want to tell your story on the podcast, buy merch, or get more information, go to shunnedpodcast.com. My original podcast, This JW Life, is my story, which started all of this. You can listen to it today on podcast apps and find more at thisjwlife.com. Or if you're interested, you can read my book, Becoming Jehovah, online for free at becomingjehovah.com.